everybody, it's Katie, the Celestial Homebody, and welcome to another week of What I Made. I hope that you're all having a wonderful Monday. If you're not, hopefully a little crochet will cheer you up. For today and today only, you can also refer to me as the Mother of Dragons, because boy, did I birth a lot of dragons this week. I made some other things besides dragons as well, but I have a lot of dragons to show you guys today. Now, before we get into what I made this week, a couple of things that I want to talk to you guys about. Firstly, as you can see, I have redone my little craft storage area, and I cleaned out some room on that shelf right there to put some of my makes. But I got rid of my cube storage and went with the wooden crates instead. If you saw last week's vlog, I was showing you guys how the cubes were just not able to withstand the weight of all of my yarn. So I decided to get rid of those. I had Ryan screw them into the wall for me so that no matter how hard I have to jiggle them to get the skeins in and out, because they are stuffed tighter than me trying to squeeze into my high school jeans, they will not come apart like the cubes were. So that is what we're dealing with. I also redid my lights. So look at how pretty they look. Oh my gosh. I love them. I love them. So I wanted to let you guys know that I did that this week. I did not record it because how many times can I record me redoing my office and you guys actually wanting to watch? I don't know, but I didn't want to risk it. So I didn't record it. Plus, I didn't want to put on a bra. So that's another reason. I decided to go barefaced today because I have had a very, very busy Sunday. For you, it's Monday, but for me, it's Sunday, and it has been incredibly busy. Yesterday, we went out shopping, and I recorded a vlog for you guys, so look forward to that on Friday. Unless, of course, you're a member, in which case you will see it whenever I upload it, which might be Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know when I'm going to get it edited and uploaded, but you're going to get to see it as soon as I post it. Everybody else will wait until Friday. By the way, if you're interested in becoming a member, there's a link in the description box below. You can join the Homebody family. We're called the Turtle Squad. It's a long story why that is the case. I'll tell you the story one day, but today is not that day because we have a lot to talk about. If you're a member, you get a lot of perks like being able to see new videos as soon as I upload them and not wait until they're scheduled to go public on YouTube. You also get special emojis and a members only chat with me. There's a lot, but you can look into it. It's in the description box. But no, that's not one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about today. I was saying I have a very busy day today because I have so many things that I want to make, and all I want to do is go sit downstairs and crochet and not film this video, to be completely honest with you, because I have something that I'm working on that I am so excited to show you guys next week, and I just painted the eyes for it before I hit record. So, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so excited. You have to come back next week. It is a mythical creature. I'll leave it at that. Also, I wanted to thank you guys so much. A couple of weeks ago on my This Week's Makes video, I asked you guys for some ideas, some input, some inspiration for what I could do for ribbons for PopCon. If you are not filled in late June, I am attending a convention. It's called PopCon Indie, and this is a ribbon convention. So what that means is people put little ribbons below their badges, and they collect ribbons, and each vendor has their own ribbon that they give to people who purchase something from their booth, or have like a little thing that you need to do in order to earn the ribbon, like spend $25 or do an Irish jig. That would be fun. Wait, should I make people do an Irish jig for 30 seconds? Wait, I might do that. Should I embarrass people or make people spend money? That's the question. Anyways, I digress. So I asked you guys a few weeks ago what I should put on the ribbons. So you guys came in hot with the ideas. And so this week I'm going to be drawing out mock-ups of all of the ideas that I got that I really vibed with. And then keep an eye out for the community tab. I'm going to post a poll over on my, I think it's called the community tab. I'm going to post a poll. I've done it before. If you've been around here for a minute, you know what the polls look like, but I'm going to show you guys all of the ribbons that I drew up, and then we'll take the 2 most popular, and that's going to be the ones that I end up making for PopCon. So I really want to involve you guys. Thank you so much to everybody who gave me ideas for the ribbons. I have a lot of work to do drawing those. Speaking of a lot of work, thank you also for asking me how my full-time seasonal job has been going. If you did not know, last Monday, so this past week, I started working a full-time job. Every spring, I do standardized test scoring. In a past life, I was a teacher for elementary and middle school, and so I'm still using my education degree in order to work and earn some income, in addition to my Etsy and selling at markets and things. So during the spring, I have a work at home job that's not very fun, not very exciting, but this year I was promoted to a leadership position, which I am loving. This past week was really easy, really slow, because it was just me and my supervisor going over things that needed, like, were my roles this year, since I was promoted from previous years. So next week is when all of the actual scores come in. So I'm 1 tier above all of the standardized test scores. And so I have to lead them in a team, which I'm a Leo. I'm a natural born leader. It's one of my personality traits. So I'm definitely going to enjoy that. But thank you to everybody who has asked, how's that job going? It's going great. I am pretty much a walking corpse 100% of the time now, though, because I have to wake up at 7:30 in the morning. And if you know me, you know that that's like my bedtime normally. So I am factually a vampire. I was bitten by a bat, and that is true. I'm not joking. I was actually bitten by a bat, and I stay up all night, and I glow in the sunlight. So the more you know. And the last thing that I want to talk to you guys about before I show you all of my dragons and other things as well, is that I wanted to give you the biggest thank you that I could possibly muster up for last week's vlog, which was a week in my life. If you have not seen it, you can go watch it. It's a very long, almost 3.5 hour vlog of my entire life, and crocheting every day and everything. If you haven't seen it, it's on my channel. But thank you so much to everybody who left a comment or a like on that video. You guys literally made Ryan and I cry with how sweet your comments were. And I was not expecting the amount of positive energy, I guess I could say, that you guys brought to me from that video. If you have not seen it, just to fill you in, last week, since it was a week in my life, I wanted to be completely transparent with you guys and just show you everything that I did on a daily basis, or do on a daily basis, and everything that I deal with on the YouTube side of things as well. And so there's like a little 5-minute segment in that 3.5 hour video of me saying that I got a hate comment, and just saying that's frustrating because this person was still continuing to watch my videos continuously, but then leaving hate comments. And I was like, just don't watch the video. Just don't watch the video. You don't have to vibe with me. You can hate my voice. That's totally fine. But then don't keep coming back to watch. It's like, are you a glutton for punishment? What's going on? And the amount of amazing comments that I got from you guys was just, it blew me out of the water. Thank you so much. I do not deserve all of you. I appreciate you. However, on that topic of hater comments, specifically about my voice, the plot doth thicken, my friends, because I got a comment telling me that another YouTuber in a recent video of theirs, I'm not going to say any names because I don't want anybody to be on blast, but in a recent video of theirs, they were saying that my voice is squeaky. And publicly on their channel, which I don't think is cool, because it's like, now everybody who does not know me, does not know my videos or what my voice sounds like, they're going to turn away from viewing my videos because they're going to have this preconceived notion that my voice is squeaky, which it is not. I mean, I can get squeaky if I'm excited about something, or if I think something's really cute, or if I'm talking to the baby. Sure, I can get a little bit squeaky, but that's not my normal talking tone. So everybody who says that my voice is high pitched, what are you smoking? What are you on, and can I have some? Because I've never in my life been accused of having a high voice.
Merry Christmas, and this is my dog's Buddy's first Christmas, so wish him a happy Christmas, and I'll go get him. This is Bunny, and it's his first Christmas.
Actually, a couple of people said, which I've gotten this a lot throughout my life, is that I sound like Lily from The Princess Diaries. I don't hear it, but a lot of people have told me that on many different occasions. And I believe that it was Maui Lime who pointed out the irony in the fact that people are hating on me for my voice. Not you. I know you're not hating on me, but some people are hating on me for my voice. And that's ironic because this voice, this one right here that's coming out of my face right now, paid for my college tuition. That's right. I went to college on a vocal scholarship. I'll show you. Watch. Well, once Jovi stops barking, I'll show you. Thank you to all of you who enjoy my voice. Thanks for always commenting. You're the best to me. You all mean the world to me. You'll see. So yeah, thank you anyways, you guys, for your kind comments. Okay, let me show you what I made this week. So let's start off with the boring things. I made 3 leggy frogs. And I know that might seem random, but as I said, we went out to the city yesterday, went shopping, filmed a vlog. So in the car, I always work on leggy frogs. I always keep green yarn in my whips bag because I like just making the bodies of these and then I don't have to stuff them till I get home. So this is yarn that I have never used before. This is called Cover Story, Dreamland, something like that. I don't know. I know that the brand is Cover Story. I don't know what the shade is, but it's green. It's like a variegated green. It's very, very similar to, like in shade, to the Burnout Mystical in the spearmint color, but this is extra thick yarn. I got this at Joann's a couple of shopping trips ago. You might have seen it in a vlog. I only picked up 1 skein of it and I wish that I had gotten more because I love this yarn, you guys. It is so nice to work with. And these things come out huge. Look at that. That's like almost as big as my big fat face. And I used a 7mm hook on these. We did go out to Joann's yesterday. I'm not going to spoil anything because it's all in the vlog, but I did not find any more of this yarn, unfortunately. I did get a comment saying that they do sell this Cover Story elsewhere. I just have not seen it in person anywhere else, but that's what this is. They come out such a good size. It glides so nicely on the hook, and the color is just so pretty. Isn't that pretty? So in the car on the way to and from Indianapolis yesterday, I was able to complete 3 of them. So that is good because I completely sold out of my green leggy frogs at Indiana Comic-Con, which was last month, a couple weeks ago. I sold out of all of my greens. I still have some other color like the rainbow frogs and the neon yellow obnoxious one. Sold out of all of the greens. So we'll see if the greens remain popular. I know that leggy frogs have kind of declined in popularity for a lot of people. For me, they did well, but it could have been that at Indiana Comic-Con, the voice actress for Tiana from Princess and the Frog, the Disney movie. Is it Pixar? No, it's just Disney. The Disney movie, Princess and the Frog, she was there. So maybe that led people to want to get the green frogs. I don't think that it did, but there was a comment saying that that was a theory why the green sold really well and the other colors did not. But I'm going to try it again, and we'll see if it was just a fluke thing that they sold. I don't know. But they're easy to make. They're quick to make. They come out a really good size. So I feel like I could easily get $18 for this. I had at Comic-Con the Leggy Frogs priced for $18. Like I said, the green sold out, and they were a little bit smaller than this because this yarn is thicker than the Burnout Mystical. So these come out even bigger. So I feel completely confident selling these for $18. I think that with how substantial they are, plus, I have not weighed them yet, but this yarn was a lot more expensive than the Burnout Mystical, which is why I only ended up getting one skein of it, because at the time it was only 25% off, which, by the way, at Joann's now it's 30% off now, which is a little bit better, but still not phenomenal with how people are panic buying it. So I have not yet priced out how much it costs to make each Leggy Frog, but it's going to be more expensive than all of my other frogs. The cover story yarn had less grams and less yardage and was like $3 more expensive than the Burnout Mystical. So that's just something to keep in mind if you are looking at purchasing it, but love using it. So I wish that I had stocked up on a couple. Well, speaking of green things, you might have already seen this if you watched last Friday's video, which featured my husband, Ryan. We did a crochet relay. I cannot take full credit for this little cutie that his name is Joffrey, because Ryan and I crocheted it together. We would each do a couple of rounds and then switch back and forth. And during that video, we also did a Q&A and answered your guys' questions for us about crochet and just about us in general. But he turned out very cute. In the video, we had forgotten to put the whiskers on. So I did add some whiskers, but I think that they're a little bit too light. You can't see them with this variegated. This, by the way, is the Burnout Mystical Fresh Green. It's different than the Spearmint Green. They've got two green colors. I think there might even be more, honestly. But what they carry at Michael's is always the Spearmint and the Fresh Green. And then for the flowers, I used Parfait Chunky, I believe, for both of these. The tail flower is not super neat. I did that as I was answering a question and talking, so I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest with you. But it's fine. It's okay. I'm not going to put a very high price on this. I mean, maybe we should, actually, Ryan had the idea that we should do a giveaway for a subscriber or a member giveaway for this little cutie since we made it together. So let me know if you're interested in us doing a giveaway. I don't know if we should lock it behind members. I feel like that's kind of mean, but also I do want to give back to those of you who are members and support the channel. So I don't know. Or I could just take them to market and have extra inventory. I haven't decided yet, but let me know if you guys would be interested in getting him for a giveaway. The ears are a little bat-like versus cat-like. To be completely honest with you guys, did not love this pattern. I ran into a lot of issues. If you saw the video on Friday, the Q&A video, then you probably saw how the issues that I was having. So first of all, I did not like the way that the ears were done. I just kind of made my own thing up. When I did them the way that the pattern said to, it turned out very small and very flat, and then it looked like a hump. It didn't look pointed, so I did my own thing, and I think the only thing that would have made it look a little bit better is if I attached this surface crochet one stitch over so that they're not as sharp of an angle here, if that makes sense. So they would look more like pulled out like that. So I might end up redoing the ears on this guy, but I don't know. This one looks better than this one. But again, I was talking and answering questions at the same time that I was making this. The other problem that I had with this pattern is the baubles. This was in the video. I was like, it was also through like 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning when we were filming that video, and we were both exhausted. But the way that the pattern wrote to do the bauble stitches is it would say bauble, like 3DC, and then it would write out the instructions for the bauble, which is the same way that they wrote all of the other instructions. So the way that I read it was do a bobble stitch and then 3 double crochet, do everything else that they told me to do, and then do the other bobble. And I was like, we're doing the mouth, right, Ryan? And he's like, yeah. But I was like, so there's supposed to be 2 bobbles next to each other. So why in the instructions does it say to do a bobble and then 3 double crochets? And he was so confused what I was saying because I couldn't understand that the pattern was telling you how to do a bobble stitch, but there was no like separation. I don't know. Maybe if you guys get the pattern, you'll have to let me know if I was just like tripping, because I could not for the life of me figure it out. But we ended up getting there just after a little bit of discussion and some blank stares at each other and at the screen with the pattern. So he ended up pretty cute. His eyes are a little beady. I feel like if I were to make this again, now that I know how to do the baubles correctly, I would give slightly larger eyes. They're cute, but I think that they're too small. Nothing much to say about the pot. I don't remember if it told you to fold this over, but I did fold it over so that you could see his little arms in there. And oh my gosh, look at that little pudgy belly. He's cute. So this is Joffrey. We'll have to see if he's going to go to a market or if he's going to go home to one of you guys. I don't know. So what else did I make this week that's not dragons? I'm getting through all of the non-dragon stuff first. I made some chickens. Now, if you've been around here for a minute, you know that I am obsessed with my blue chicken pattern, or my Stardew Valley inspired chicken pattern. I know that there are a million chicken patterns out there. You use the one that works for you. I ended up writing my own because I didn't like any of them. And actually I did that for dragons as well, but I'll talk about that in a minute here. I'm getting ahead of myself. So anyways, I wrote this chicken pattern and I wanted them to kind of be inspired by Stardew Valley. So this is what they look like. The heads stick up, as opposed to like the ye old Mabel chicken pattern where it's just flat. I wanted my inventory to stand out and be different from all of the other crocheters who are doing the Mabel chickens. So because I wanted to make the chickens similar to those that you see in the video game called Stardew Valley, I did blue chickens with purple combs. I did that months ago and they just kind of took off and everybody is doing the Stardew Valley chickens now. And I love it because we're getting more people into the game, hopefully. Although it's been well over a year since I've picked up Stardew Valley. So I'm kind of a fake fan at the moment, but trust me, I have the hours in the game. I just haven't had the time to play video games really at all with the baby and with my crochet business and YouTube now. But anywho, so I have been looking for the perfect blue yarn to use for these chickens. And in the past, I was using the Chenille Home Slim. I don't remember the shade name, but it was one of the blue colors from Michaels. But since they have discontinued that line temporarily until they fix all of the quality issues, I only have like 1.5 skeins left. And I was like, I'm going to run out of this eventually. I need to find a replacement ASAP so that I can make these, because this style chicken sells out for me. And my Mabel chickens, when I made a couple of those and brought them to market, they never sold, but these ones do. I think people just like that they look a little bit more like realistic chickens, you know? So because I have PopCon coming up as well as a Renaissance Fair, which I feel like is 2 events in particular that there are going to be a lot of gamer types. So hopefully a lot of Stardew Valley fans, and they're going to want their own blue chicken with the purple comb. So I found the perfect yarn. A couple of weeks ago, I was looking at Michaels for Mystical, because I was like, if I want to make this as realistic to the game as possible, I want it to almost look pixelated because it is a pixel art style in the video game. And I was like, well, if I used a variegated blue, it might create that pixelated look, you know? So I was looking at Mystical Colors at Michael's, and they have this color called Teal Stream, which is a more darker, muted teal blue versus this bright, vibrant blue. So I went down the rabbit hole looking on Google for other Mystical Colors, and apparently there are like 15, 20 different colors in the Mystical line, but the only ones that they carry at Michael's is like the normal like 7 or 8 that we see. And there's this color called Crystal Ocean Blue. They were sold out of it everywhere. I looked on Hirschner's, I looked at Yarnspirations, I looked everywhere, and I could not find this Bernat Mystical Blue Crystal Ocean anywhere until I stumbled across a third-party seller on Amazon that only had one skein in stock, and I snatched that up so fast. So it is on my to-do to get some more. I am going to be checking all of those sites regularly to see if they have any more of this Crystal Ocean color back in stock. I know that they do carry it at a lot of places. It's just normally sold out, I guess. So anyways, this is what that Crystal Ocean color looks like worked up. And is it not stunning? It is beautiful. It is bright. It is vibrant because it has that variegated, different tones in it. It looks like a pixelated chicken, and they just look amazing. And I'm so happy that I found this. And thank you to everybody who was giving me suggestions. I did ask a few vlogs ago what yarn you guys think that I should use for my blue chickens, plush yarn, of course. And some of you guys gave me some suggestions. One person did say Mystical Crystal Ocean, but at that time I had already placed the order. So I was like, great minds think alike. So I am ecstatic about this. I made 2 because of course I had to try out the new yarn just to see how I liked it, and it's perfect. It is perfect. And I am so happy too that I grabbed a couple of skeins of this Big Twist Posh before all of the Posh was gone. All the scalpers came and bought it up and are now selling it on eBay for like $25 a skein and on Etsy. I did buy a couple of skeins. It's called smoothie bowl, and perfect color for the purple comb. It's vibrant, it's fun. So there we go. 2 blue Stardew Valley chickens. 2 more. If you saw last week's video, you know that I made a whole leaning tower of chickens, but I have sold a couple of my blue chickens already on Etsy, so I only have 2 now in my market inventory, and that's not gonna fly because those always sell for me. I need a break for a sippy. Hang on. Okay. What else did I make that's not a dragon? Well, I know that we're like a few weeks at this point past April Fool's Day, but I wanted to do an April Fool's joke because if you know me, you know that I like to joke. I love shenanigans, but my regular upload schedule did not fall on April 1st this year. So I was like, that's going to be a little sus if I just randomly upload a video that has like some crazy clickbait or something and it's on April Fool's Day. I think that you guys are smart enough cookies. You'd know what was up. You would know that it was an April Fool's joke before you even clicked on the video. So I do have a really funny idea for next year. So you got to stick around for next year. I'm very excited for April Fool's Day next year. But for this year, I was like, what could I do that I could just kind of put into a video that would be kind of silly? But you know, the best April Fool's jokes do not hurt anybody physically or emotionally. Now, some of you might argue that what I'm about to show you does hurt you emotionally, and that is completely fair. So I'm just warning you right now. So last week you saw that I made a bunch of gummy bears, and I had some yarn sitting out from that, specifically a like peach colored yarn. And it was sitting there and I was kind of thinking, what could I do for April Fool's Day? And then it dawned on me. So you guys know how I have been making Ryan eat all the cheese balls so that I can use the container as a pickle jar for my Ren Fair. By the way, side note, we have not made any progress besides maybe 3 balls in the cheese ball container. Still have stuff in there, but we have like 3 weeks left before Ren Fair, 2 weeks left. I don't know, but I promise, I assure you that he will get the job done. Otherwise, he's fired. So I have been making pickles like crazy because I want to be able to fill up that giant container. I mean, it's a Sam's Club size container of cheese balls. It's big. So I need to have enough pickles to fill it up because that would just look not good for display purposes if I only had like 3 laying at the bottom of that giant container, right? So I've been making a ton of pickles. But then I saw this peach yarn laying next to me, and I thought that it would be funny to make a pickle out of this flesh-colored yarn. So here you go. April Fools. It's a fleshy pickle. Are you mentally and emotionally scarred now? I think he's cute. I gave him eyebrows. I have never given a pickle eyebrows, but he's just special. Maybe this can be our member giveaway. Members, do you want a chance to win this little pickle? I've named him Clancy just because he looks like a Clancy to me. So, Clancy the pickle. There he is. I showed it to Ryan and he's like, that's not funny. But I thought it was funny. I mean, it's just my normal pickle pattern. See, my voice just got high because I'm excited. It's just my normal pickle pattern. Just in flesh-colored yarn. Anyways, okay, let me show you where my creative juices have gone this week. And boy, have I had a lot of juices this week. I have made, my voice just got really high again. Every time my voice gets high, I should just sing it. I have made a unicorn pattern. Anyways, I made another unicorn pattern. So you might know if you've been around here for a bit that I have a loaf unicorn pattern out. And I love making my loaf unicorn pattern. It's very quick. It's very easy. But I was like, I want to do a Pegasus, so similar, because I could have just very well have added wings onto the loaf unicorn and made it a Pegasus, but I wanted it to have a little bit more structure, more shape to it. So I got out my notepad and pen and started devising a pattern. So this was my first attempt. This is what she looks like. And I was pretty happy with how this turned out. If I was not pattern designing, this would only take me about 35 minutes to do. So not much longer than a loaf unicorn. Of course, almost 8 minutes is just going into the wings. So you do have to add that into consideration, but I wanted to make it so similar where you crochet the horn in, except on this one, I did not want to have to surface crochet the ears. So I added the ear instructions into one of the rounds. So I did this, and then I was like, the neck is a little long, like it's looking a little disproportionate. But I did like the size of the body. The overall size of this item I thought was perfect, but there were a couple of things that I wanted to change about it, like the size of the neck, and I wanted to make the body just a tad, like 1 or 2 stitches bigger, just to match the head. But I did nostrils built in this time, unlike my loaf unicorn pattern. I just could not get the nostrils to work on the loaf unicorn for whatever reason, but because of the shape of this head, I think that just a little nostril on them looks very cute. So I got my notepad and pen back out, and I started redevising this pattern, and I think that I ended up coming up with something that is perfect. So I will be releasing this pattern after I get it tested. If you are not yet following me over on Instagram, you can go do so at the Celestial Homebody. I will be posting a tester call for that in the next couple of days, sometime this week, to test this Pegasus pattern, and then it will be released for purchase. So this is what the finished product ended up looking like. There she is. I use purple sparkly Bernat on this. And for the mane and for the tail, this is the Big Twist favorite fur, faux fur, whatever it's called. I don't know what color this is, but it looks like cotton candy and I love it. So here's the difference between the two. You can see that this one's longer and skinnier, and then this one's a little shorter and plumper, and I like the look of this one a little bit bigger. Also, I did not make the neck as long, so I did change quite a bit to get to this finished product. I also ended up putting a magnet inside of this one so that I can have her sit on my shoulder. I don't think that I'm going to be selling her. I think that she is actually going to stay on my shoulder for the Ren Fair and just be like a part of my attire. I don't know what I'm going to wear yet, by the way. A lot of people told me I should wear my mushroom hat, but does the mushroom hat conflict with my little baby shoulder Pegasus? I don't know. I mean, we have 3 days, so maybe I can just wear something different on the 3 days. But yeah, I'm not going to sell her. I don't know what her name is. We need to think of a name for her, so let me know if you have any ideas. Cotton Candy, we could go with that. That's a lot to say. We could call her Cece for short, but I don't care for that. We need something snappy, you know? Could call her Celeste, but that's weird that I'm naming my Pegasus after my daughter. So yeah, keep an eye out for the pattern tester call on my Instagram. Unfortunately, if you don't have an Instagram, you won't be eligible to test the pattern because we're going to be communicating through Instagram direct messages. So you have to have one. Also, I will be looking for people who have active crochet accounts and that take really good pictures, because that is invaluable to any pattern designer, to have amazing pattern tester pictures at the end of it all. So if you take really good pictures, then you will be heavily, heavily considered for a pattern test role. So thank you in advance to everybody who's going to apply for that. I will let you guys know when that is up on the Insta, and over the next few weeks, you'll be able to purchase the pattern and make it for yourself. So yay for that. So after I designed the little Pegasus, I wanted to design something similar, almost a modification for it, that is a dragon, because for the Renaissance Fair, I need to have a lot of these magical creatures, right? So I had this vision that I thought would be absolutely precious if I got a bunch of those little, they're like party favor boxes that look almost like, you know, when you go and adopt a cat, sometimes they give you that cardboard box with like the little handle. I wanted to get a bunch of little party favor boxes, you know, so they're on a smaller scale, and then have like an adoption station for unicorn, Pegasi, and dragons. And they would come with an adoption certificate where the kid could like write in their name, or I could write what they named their critter for them. And then I would put them in one of those little carriers, and then they would have that to carry around the Ren Fair. I thought that that would be so cute. So I can do that with my loaf unicorns too. I can throw them into the mix, adopt a unicorn, Pegasi, or dragon. So I was like, I need a dragon pattern that is just as quick as doing these are, because I'm going to price them all the same. I don't want to spend an extra half an hour doing the dragon if I'm pricing it the same as the unicorns. So I went on the hunt for a little dragon pattern, and I tried a couple of free ones, and I ended up just frogging them out because they were taking too long, or I didn't like the way that they looked. I did end up getting one paid pattern, and I don't remember who it was by, but it was so tiny. It was quick, but it ended up like this big by like so skinny, so little. I have it right here. It's so tiny. And I didn't care for how the wings turned out. So in scale, there's the Pegasus, and this is even smaller than my loaf unicorns. And then the dragon would just be way too small, you know? And I mean, it's cute. It's got a cute face. Its face almost looks snake-like to me. But I wanted to design my own because I just could not find any that I liked. So I did a slight modification to this pattern and I designed a little dragon. So here's what they look like. Really, I changed the tail at first and the way that the ears are done. Instead of doing ears, we did baubles for the little horns, but I did their faces the same. It's hard to see with this variegated, but I wanted them to have little nostrils and for their snouts to kind of flare out and then go in and up instead of like this pattern, which a lot of the dragon patterns look like this, where it's just a point. So I did this and I was like, that's cute. I do like that. I had a lot of fun using this variegated yarn. This is Home Slim or Sweet Snuggles Light in pink polka dot, I think they call it. But I was like, it's a little too rotund for a dragon. So I went back to the drawing board and I tried another one. I also decided to make the face a little bit bigger than the Pegasus. So this is what I came up with after that. Here's the difference in the size of the faces. You can see this one is a lot wider. And then this one's body is also a tad longer. So overall, this is a bigger dragon. Took me almost the same amount of time. I mean, I didn't really time these, to be honest with you. Also, there's a fluff on his wing. Didn't really time these, to be honest with you, but I don't think it took me much longer. And I was writing down the pattern and I was doing it. That turned out more of a comparable size in my mind where I could charge the same price for these two items. But I was like, now the face is a little too fat. We need somewhere in the middle. And I think he's still a little bit too chubby, still a little bit too short. So I went back to the drawing board again. And the third time, I got it perfect. It's like Mama Bear, Papa Bear, Baby Bear. The third time, I got it perfect. So this is how my dragon looks. So we've got the little flared nostrils. I got the face to be wide enough where you could really see how it comes in. You know, it's shaped and it's not too big, however. So I got it to be enough rounds and not as many stitches in the belly. So here is the difference between the first one that I did and then ultimately where I ended with the pattern. So I loved how this little guy turned out. On all of their tails that I'm about to show you, I kind of did different things because I didn't decide really what I liked. This one I did 3 little points. This one I only did 2. This one I did nothing. I didn't give him any stripe or anything. By the way, his wings are burnout mystical. Aren't they cool? The black, I think it's called Cinder, I believe. So little different tail accessories. Now here's the thing about my dragon pattern. I was thinking that I would release like a bundle and have the Pegasus and the dragon in like a combo. I mean, I ended up changing more about the dragon, so it's not like the same exact pattern with modifications. I did change more of this than I originally intended to, but here's the thing. There are a million dragon patterns out there. It's like, do I really need to put mine out? See, I feel like yes, because all of the other ones that I tried personally, I did not like, but I love making mine. Is that opinion bias? Absolutely it is. But I just don't know, like, if there's really a need for this on the market. You guys have to let me know. Should I type it up and put it out as a pattern? Should I include it free with the unicorn pattern? Should I try to make a little bit of money off of it and sell it for like $1.99? I'm not sure. I don't know what to do. If I am going to sell it though, I will also need pattern testers for this little guy as well. So just stay tuned for what I decide to do on them. But I went ham making the dragons because I had so much fun making it. I did time making these, and they took me between 30 and 45 minutes, depending on like if I was watching something and getting distracted. But I used a little stopwatch on my iPhone, and I would say on average 40 minutes, 35 minutes. But I am a fast crocheter, so take what I say with a grain of salt. It might take you a little bit longer. So I ended up making a bunch of these guys. So of course we made the pink. We made the red with the cinder mystical wings. We made this one, which I kind of pictured as like an ice dragon. The little horns are actually sparkly Bernat baby. I don't know if you can see, but they're sparkly white. I made this one. That is a very cool variegated color. This is also a Home Slim or Sweet Snuggles. I have never seen this skein in person besides the one time that they had one skein and I bought it. And that is this one right here. I've never seen it anywhere else. Oh my gosh. I also love how their little feet kind of sit like that. So when they're standing up, it looks like they're standing. I'm very proud of these little guys, if you couldn't tell. But this is a cool color. This would be good for snakes too. But I did this with some, I want to say this is Chenille Home Slim. I just pulled one of the blue colors out of this variegated, and he's very badass. I also did one that was slightly inspired by Spike from My Little Pony. So it's green and purple, also kind of giving Barney the dinosaur. But I did a light purple lilac stripe on him. This one I gave just like a little flipper tail. See, all their tails are different. I don't know. I was just playing with it. And this is Elise Voluto, this green color. It's a very pretty green that I have not seen any other yarn brand carry this shade. So I'm happy that I had some of that in my stock. I think that it just pairs so well with this Elise Voluto purple. It's very vibrant. I did do embroidered eyes on this guy because I originally put in the 10mm safety eyes, which I used on all of the other dragons, but silly me, at 2:30 in the morning, I forgot to put the back on one of them. So I stuffed it, I finished it up, and then I went to put it to the side and the eye popped out and I was like, what the heck? And then I realized that the back was sitting right there next to me. So I just ended up cutting out the other eye, just cutting the stitch next to where the eye was placed, and then sewed it up with embroidery thread. So I only have one that is baby safe, but I imagine the kids are going to just go crazy about these, especially if they come with a little adoption certificate and a little carrying case. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for it. So I did the green and purple. Then I did a pink lemonade themed one. So this is yellow, hot pink, or it's not really hot pink. I think this is bubblegum pink from the Premier Brights, Chenille Brights. And then this light pink from Sweet Snuggles Light. I don't know if the pink is really showing up on camera. It's almost looking more white. Let me turn this light off. There you go. You can see the pink a little bit better now. But this one, I was inspired by Pink Lemonade with summertime coming up, you know. Do I have a scratch right there? Yep. That's a baby scratch if I've ever seen one. Then, of course, I decided that with how popular the Pokemon is right now, with all the trading cards and everything, I had to do a few dragons inspired by Dragonite, the Pokemon. So I did two of them. This one and this one. And now they're slightly different colors. So for this one, I use the Chenille Brights. This one is coming off very neon on camera. It is more like macaroni and cheese, orange, yellow. There you go. That looks a little bit better. And then for the wings, I used Elise Voluto blue. And then for this one, I swapped them. I used Elise Voluto yellow macaroni and cheese craft orange. And then for the wings, I use the chenille brights. So there's the color difference. They're ever so slightly different, but I feel like fans of Pokemon will definitely see this and be reminded of Dragonite. And so that's why I did 2. And I love this color combo. That's fire. Whoever designed Dragonite, you did a great job on that color combo. I would have never thought to pair craft mac and cheese orange with like this teal, but they look phenomenal. Then I decided to do this more monochromatic one. I had this color out from doing this one. So I kind of wanted to do an inverse of it, but make it more monochromatic. So I did the chenille bright wings, and then this is this Elise Voluto? I can't remember what I used for the body on this guy, but I just gave him white horns. Again, kind of ice dragon-like. Mint, if you did not know, is my favorite color. Well, pastel rainbow is, but if I had to pick one, it is mint green, mint blue. So that is why I did 2 in this color theme. But I don't know, maybe there's like lore about them. Maybe they're like brother and sister or something because they're inversed, or husband and wife. Mwah. That's right, I'm the mother of dragons. I can make dragons kiss if I want to. Okay, this is the last one of the little dragons that I did. I did one inspired by, you guys know who this is inspired by? Spyro the dragon. He's another video game character. And so I did Elise Voluto purple and also Elise Voluto pale yellow and white horns. Does Spyro have white horns? I don't know. I didn't look up a picture of him. I just went based on memory that he was purple with yellow accents. So I don't even know if this is true to his colors, but this one is also one of my favorites. I just love this color combo. It is not only just a nice color combo for somebody who doesn't know who Spyro is, but for you Spyro fans, you probably, well, hopefully you saw this and immediately thought about your favorite video game character. So that was a lot of dragons, and I'm not even done yet. Those were just all of the dragons that I made with my pattern. And I'm serious. Please comment if you want me to release it, if you think that I should. I don't know. All right, so the next dragon that I made, this one is a little bit of a cheater because I started this. I don't even want to tell you guys how long ago I started this. It was on Thanksgiving. And I started it, and then I got deathly ill with food poisoning. Not from Thanksgiving. It was from a few days before Thanksgiving. But on Thanksgiving, I started feeling awful. Celeste was like a newborn at that point. And I remember sitting there, and she was just sleeping on my chest, and I felt so disgusting. And I was like, I don't even want to crochet, but I knew at that time that I had the Renaissance Fair coming up this spring. So I knew that I had to start market prepping. And so I pushed myself through starting to make this dragon, and I hated every second of it. It had one wing done, and it sat downstairs inside of our little built-in bookshelf cabinet thing for the past however many months it's been since Thanksgiving. And I finally finished it just for you guys today to show this to you. So give me a second. I got to get it set up. All right, you ready to see it? There it is. There's my dragon. So this pattern I got on Etsy. I will link it in the description box, as well as all of the other patterns that you've seen here, except for obviously the ones that I have yet to publish. But this I saw on Etsy, and I was like, that is so cool. So you put wire inside of their tail so that you can wear it. And I saw this pattern, and here's me thinking, oh, I'm just going to make a bunch of wearable dragons for the Ren Fair. And that's going to be like my primary booth thing, is selling these wearable dragons. And then I made this one, and I was like, you're crazy, girl. That's actually wild that you thought that you could do that. Considering this one took you like 6 months to do. But he did turn out very cool. So this is the only one that I made, and I probably will never make another again. But the thought process behind it, I think, was solid, because everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people who go to Renaissance festivals are very into their cosplays and becoming a character to play for the event. And I figured that a lot of people where their characters were dragon tamers, mothers of dragons, fathers of dragons, whatever involving dragons, that they thought that it would be cool to have this as part of their Ren Fair getup for their cosplay. So I was going to make a bunch of dragons in different colors and yarns and sizes. That ain't going to happen. So inside of this, you put bonsai wire. I think it's 9mm bonsai wire. I could completely be pulling that out of my butt though. It says in the pattern, if you do end up purchasing this pattern, it tells you exactly what you need. And I got it from Amazon. And you have to crochet in 4 single crochets in the round around wire. And that is what killed me, on top of having food poisoning and feeling like crap already. But it was just not a pleasant experience to do. I already have a hard time crocheting in the round in 4 single crochets. Eventually it does increase to 5 and you're like, woohoo, an extra stitch for me to not, accidentally close this thing up. But was not fun. This yarn, you might be wondering, I want to say it's from Temu, maybe? I don't remember. I have had it for a long time. It's a very, very, very skinny chenille, and I doubled it up. I had 2 skeins of it, so I pulled the same color from each skein so that the greens would be together, the blues, etc. One of the reasons why I don't like this yarn is that it does not color change quickly. You can see how much of each color it is before it changes. I would have rather had it been more of a variegated where the colors change faster, like in the Big Twist plush. I love how fast those color change because you can really get a lot of color into one small area. This, I don't like how long it takes to color change. I don't know why I chose rainbow. I think I just wanted an excuse to use that yarn. And if I knew that I was only going to be doing one of these dragons, I would have picked something that I think more people would like. This is cool and all, but it's random. It's very random. So for the wings, I did not follow the wing pattern that was written. I just found it way too complicated. It involved crocheting again around wire for the wings. They did look really badass, but I did not have the patience to do it at the time. And of course, when I went back to finish this last night, I had to match the wings. So I just looked up a YouTube tutorial of how to do a bat wing or dragon wing, and I followed, who is it by? Teresa's Crochet Shop, I believe. She has a tutorial on how to do a dragon wing, so that's what I did. It is double-sided, so you make 2 dragon wings and then you crochet them together, and I did not realize that I made them the wrong way. So what I mean by that is, if you can see here, this one is more blue, green, yellow, and then this one is like the red, orange, yellow, green. And then on the back side, they're opposite. So what I should have done is made the insides both the blues and then the outsides the yellows, or vice versa. So now they're opposite, But I guess that doesn't look bad, considering the entire wingspan. You get the rainbow that way as well. So it's not a big deal. Also, for the eyes on this, again, I did this so long ago, but I do remember having the hardest time getting these eyes in. And so I could not get the sinker back on the correct way, so I had to flip them. So the eyes do not sinker. They just kind of sit on top, as you can see. I don't know if there's a way to fix that besides me just cutting out the eyes and then embroidering them, which I could do, but I don't want to spend any more time on this. I already am going to be putting like $100 price on this because of how long it took me and how much I hated doing it. And if it doesn't sell, oh well, I guess it's just going to be in my market bag for a very long time. Or maybe I could sell it on Etsy. It is cool. It is cool. So that is that little dragon buddy. And then for our grand finale today, I did another dragon. The pattern is by Mom Stitchetti, and this is like a brother or a cousin to Jeff. Who remembers our sweetheart dragon, Jeff? He sold at Indiana Comic-Con. Actually, one of the first things to sell was Jeff. And on that one, I used the yellow Loops and Threads Fluffy Flex. And then for all of the toes, I did like a pastel rainbow. And for all of the spikes, I did pastel rainbow. And I was inspired for that dragon by the Sweethearts because it was around Valentine's Day. I will link the video that I showed Jeff off in the description box. Don't ask why his name is Jeff. It's a long story. But I wanted to make another one of those dragons since it sold so fast, but I didn't want to do the exact same thing. So again, using the Loops and Threads Fluffy Flex, here he is. So for the main body on this guy, I used blue. For the ear accents, I used the mint. And then for the wings, I did purple. And then to bring that purple in, I also gave him purple eyes. And I actually painted those eyes. This is actually the same color paint that I used to paint my sign back there. So he is extra special for the Homebody brand. And then for his stripe, instead of doing all of the individual little spikes like I did on the last one, I have this fur from Big Twist because I panic bought it before it all sold out and now you can't get it. I have not seen it at any Joann's, unfortunately. I want to say this color was Jelly Bean or something. I just pull these names out of my butt, you guys. I just make them up. Don't take every color name that I tell you with a huge ass grain of salt, okay? But this is a really fun, vibrant fur, variegated fur, and it was perfect. It had every single color. Well, actually, I didn't use any neon yellow, but I did use this like pastel yellow because this is also the Fluffy Flex, but it has the purple in it. It has the mint color. It has the blue. It was perfect. So that is what I used for his stripe. And what I love about this dragon pattern is that their legs are really dangly because you crochet them in. So when I displayed my last one, I had his back legs up like that and then his front legs down like that. And then it looked kind of like he was in a play stance. And it is just so precious. I do shorten their tails. Each one of these that I have made, I do not put all of the rounds in the tail. I just don't want to spend the extra time to make it extra rounds, and I am content with the length of this tail. The only thing that I don't like about this fur is that it's very heavy and very dense, so his tail strands kind of flop down, and I might add, let's be honest, I'm not going to add another little tendril, but I should have done 3 instead of 2. The 2 is kind of giving mermaid, which I don't want. I should have done an extra one, but oh well. So I think that he is going to sit right up there on that shelf. Let me go put him in his new home. There, now he can watch over us. Cute. Yeah, that's cute. So he's going to the Renaissance Fair, and if he doesn't sell there, then he'll go to PopCon, and if he doesn't sell there, then he'll go to Fall Festival, and he might have to hang out with me for a while along with this little lady. Well, I have been rambling on for far too long. I want to go sit downstairs and crochet, and we need to eat dinner too. So I will leave you here for today, but stay tuned for Friday's vlog. It's a long one too. That's what she said. And of course, we have to give a huge thank you to our channel members. You guys are the brightest stars in my constellation. Thank you for supporting me and for supporting the channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not sick of me yet, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye!